Good morning and welcome to the opening trade. I'm
Good
Ayla.
morning and welcome to the opening trade. I'm
Good
Ayla.
morning and welcome to the opening trade. I'm
Good
Ayla.
morning and welcome.
Okay, hopefully that was fixed now. Okay, before we get started, don't forget to first read and understand our disclosures found by both link and text in the description of this video. Let's take a look at the current SIM account balance. Here we go. Simulated the opening trade, cash values. This column and this column will change after the trades take place. So that could be automated trades, hopefully 4 of them, and then some manual trades if I see some good signals. So let's take a look at the back test results on these automated trades. We could potentially see, as long as the parameters are met, fire off in this live trade later. So the first one that we could potentially see will be on um, the Dow Jones futures. So let's drag this over here. Here we go. You see our start and end date. If you have access to data, you can run back tests as long as you have data for it. So we were able to have a good chunk of data here. So that's encapsulating 3 years and 2 months and 11 days. So that would be before COVID, through COVID, into present day. Here's our max drawdown, the gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit. So we could potentially see this automated trade take place as long as the parameters are met 6 minutes after the New York Open. And then 2 minutes after that automated trade on the Russell 2000 futures, and 2 minutes later, we could potentially see the Russell automated trade take off. So let's take a look at that back test for the Russell 2000 futures. Again, so we have a big chunk of data here, so that was great for this back test. So the back test ran, here's our max drawdown, our gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit. And again, this is before, during, and through present of this time. So then after the Russell, 2 minutes later, we could potentially see the NASDAQ futures and the S&P 500 futures as well. Automated trades take place as long as the parameter is met. So let's take a look at the NASDAQ here. Here's our start and end date, the max drawdown, the gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit for the NASDAQ. Now let's take a look at the S&P 500. All right. So this is the S&P 500. Here's our start and end date. Here's the max drawdown, the gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit there. Again, this was a 3 year, 2 month, and 11 day back test. So that was started before COVID and ran through COVID and is current. Okay, so now that we looked at our back test results, we have less than 4 minutes here before we could see before we will see the New York market open. So let's take a look at what's happening here in the market. So here is S&P 500, and we see it's really close to the 200 period EMA below it right now. The NASDAQ is sitting on the 200 period EMA at this time. Although, there you go, wake up chart. Here we have, this is the Dow. So look at yesterday. All right. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that my chart is on a 3-minute candle. Very important. And who's yesterday? Who's yesterday? This is Russell 2000 futures. And then what is happening in the crude oil? Okay, let's shrink this guy. So crude oil, here was the manual trades they took yesterday. You see these purple arrows, those would indicate those manual trades they took yesterday in the crude oil. All right, so I'm gonna be watching this crude oil. All right, so what happened in the news, right? So today we saw at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time the capacity utilization rate came out, and the industrial production month-over-month rate report came out, and in about 32 and a half minutes we will see at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time the prelim UOM consumer sentiment report, the prelim UOM inflation expectations, and the CB leading index month over month. So what should we keep our eye on for next week? Okay, so next week, we're going to keep our eye out for Wednesday when the FOMC economic projections statement and funds. Oh, the FOMC economic projections report will come out, the FOMC statement, and the federal funds rate, and an FOMC press conference. So that will be coming on Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye for that. We have less than 2 minutes before we see the New York market open. So I'm going to get my crude oil chart ready for me in case there's some good manual trades. Don't want to have my chart all crunchy. All right, so the first automated trade, as long as the parameter is met, will be on the Dow here. And that would take place 6 minutes after the New York Open, and the New York Open is in less than a minute. We would like to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. Our systems are automated and they are live when enabled by the user. They run in the U.S. equity futures markets, and free trials to the automated trading systems are on our website at theopeningtrade.com. Don't forget to read and understand all associated risks listed on our website and in this video description. The first step to being a good trader is knowing your risks, right? All right, so we have a minute before the New York market opens, and what do we see in the news? U.S. capacity utilization is below forecast. Republicans' pro-drilling energy bill is DOA. It is still a reboot a rebuke of Biden's climate agenda and a 2024 weapon. Let's get some sips of water. The New York market just opened. All right, and crude oil is showing that it might be good to get in on there. Um, the last candle closed green, but we always want to wait for our second candle. Not always, but today we're gonna wait because we're real. Oh, see that big jump? So we're just gonna wait. We know that this candle is going to, if I can get the crosshairs on it, there we go. The candle will close 3 minutes after the New York market. So when a candle is open, it will change color rapidly from red to green, depending on where the current price is in the market, right? So we see that these candles over here are closed candles. Some of them are um, solid, and some are not solid, but they still tell you red or green. Even though right now it looks like the crude oil would be good to get into, we see that the price is it keeps on going down below the 200 period EMA there. So it is moving a lot more than it has in the last like 15 minutes right now because the market just opened. So we're just gonna, keep an eye on that one. So what is happening now that the market is open? Let's flip through our charts here. So we see that the S&P 500 has what is happening in this chart? I think my chart froze. Nope, there's no arrow. Okay, well we're gonna look at the Nasdaq. Oh, what is going on? Nothing's moving. Oops. All right, I am seeming to have a data problem. Not on the crude oil. Crude oil is getting it, but the Russell, the YM, and the Nasdaq, and the ES are maybe production can do something for us. All right, so apparently my data provider is having an issue or something. So at this time, I am choosing uh, not to run my automated strategies until I can get that handled. So we will focus here on the crude oil. Again, that candle closed red, so we're really glad that. So the New York market opened right here at 6:30 with a green candle. We wanted, I felt like waiting to see the second candle. And I'm glad I didn't get in because as you see, the second candle dipped lower below the 200 period EMA. When that capacity utilization rate goes down, so does the oil. So we saw that the candle was red and it's not time to try to take a manual trade here. And the current candle is red, but it's an open candle, and when we get the crosshairs on it, we know it's going to close in less than a minute. Yeah. All right. Just trying to see if I can't get these the data lag to catch up or something. Who knows? Maybe the universe is saving me. But a good thing is to not get upset when things don't work because you don't want to trade with your emotions going crazy. So here again, we're just seeing further support that when the U.S. capacity utilization is below forecast, that the crude oil also sees a change there. Um, so it is dropping as well. And now the indicator here in step 2 has turned red, so I know for sure I don't want to get in um at this time. So let's take a look at the news. And, and it might be just a short day today, unfortunately, but we will be back on Monday. Okay, so Overseas Shipping Group announces share repurchase program. Commodities market impacts the weather. Cold in the plains this weekend. Yeah. Anybody watching the news? Um, hopefully stay bundled up, stay warm. All right. Week ahead for FX bond market. Focus on central bank decisions amid banking sector concerns. U.S. industrial output is flat in in February. Sorry, wrong month. Again, crude oil is still not showing, and it might be lagging a little bit. So let's see here. Crude oil, the current candle says it's green, but we know it's an open candle. But we do have some kind of data lake happening. So that means that I cannot make an appropriate decision on whether I want to take a manual trade or not. So that is all right. We'll just have to get that figured out there. So let's just take a look here, refresh the news, and then we'll probably be calling it. We do like to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. Again, we do have free trials to automated trading systems on our website at theopeningtrade.com. Don't forget to read and understand all associated. Okay, I think we have a handle. So, what is happening? I need a number for everyone. All right, so actually, we're back in the game. We're back in the game. Production has come through and figured out why I needed to manually roll my contract, which I am actively doing. Oh no, right now. Okay, so we're back in. All right, so let's look for some manual trades now. that unfortunately missed the automated trades, but that's fine. Excuse me. Okay, so now that we have inflowing correct data, let's see. We know right. No, this one's still lagging. So crude oil is not the last candle closed red. So the indicator is not there for a manual trade. All right, so I need to have some room here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you can see here the long failed. All right, so all right, so the current candle, if I could get the crosshairs on it, is going to close in less than a minute. So let's see what else is happening. Here is this is the Dow. So we'll see what the candle does. Let's check on the NASDAQ here. No trade in the NASDAQ. Way too close to the 200 period. EMA, same thing with, oh, let's go back to Russell, see if there's something here. Nothing here. And again, we just see crude oil reflecting. So the utilization capacity rate dropped, and the Dow, the Russell, and the crude oil are reflecting that. And the Dow and the S&P are under renewed pressure. Let's see what else is on the news. 1 second, flip to the Dow. Volatile natural gas prices unexpectedly staying low. So why, same as oil. So why do we think that is? What did we find out earlier this year? We had a lot on pay. So financials drag TSX at the open, and Nutra aims to improve capital structure. Stop selling American Airlines stock as it remains heavily shorted. Corporacana America Airlines SA reports February 2023 passenger traffic. Ford's recalling over 1.5 million vehicles in the U.S. for brake hoses and wiper arm problems. Okay, so if you drive a Ford, you probably want to go see if your vehicle is safe to drive. I know I like to use brakes to stop when I'm driving. It's a whole lot cheaper to replace those brakes, than having a car accident. Plus, nobody wants to get hurt. That's going to mess up your day. Alright, so again, crude oil is not showing anything viable for a manual trade, nor is the Russell. The YM, this candle's going to close in less than a minute. Maybe could take a manual there. NASDAQ sitting on the 200 period EMA, and the S&P 500 is bounced up to it, went above it, and is crashing back down under it. So where was I thinking potentially here? When does your candle close? No, the candle closed red. So again, the indication is not there to take a manual trade on the Dow. or the Russell, or the crude oil. The NASDAQ is too close to being the 200 EMA, and the S&P 500 is also very close to the 200 period EMA, but it's also seeing some, pressure, as the news said. So what do we see here? Canadian Pacific, Kansas City Southern to officially combine on April 14th. And the Toronto Stock Exchange fell at the open. U.S. industrial production stagnated in February. Chart Industries completes acquisition of Howden and updates this year's guidance. Aviganin narrows fiscal quarter one loss and the revenue falls. Says we'll need cash proceeds to continue as going concern. EPA EPA tells states they cannot block hazardous waste shipments from Ohio train derailment. Nobody wants that hazardous waste. It's got to go somewhere. Everyone's scrambling. Maybe some of these smart people should find some like, fancy new way to dispose of hazardous waste. Like, couldn't we shoot it into space where it would get burned up? I don't know. All right, so let's see. Histogen gets U.S. patent offering broad coverage for anti-inflammatory capsaicin inhibitors. And the shares rise pre-bells today. Well, Incorporated loss per share is 34 cents. Let's look at the crude oil. Crude oil is still just falling below that 200 period EMA, and it is not a good time to take a manual trade. Nor is it a good time for the Russell. We see that the YM, which is the Dow Jones, is also falling down. So what we know is that when all of them are falling down like this, we want to let the fall happen. We want to let them get to their lowest point down here below the 200 period EMA. So if you, for this chart, for example, this, you would not have wanted to get in on any of these candles. The first candle you would have wanted to get in on would have been the second green candle to make sure that the first one wasn't a fluke. Like here, we saw a green candle, green candle, green candle, but then we saw that oh, hit that timer button. Alright, then we saw that it dropped there. So, you wouldn't have wanted to be in there for that drop. So, we know that the markets are reflecting that U.S. capacity utilization forecast coming out below expectations. So we need to let the drop happen. And then when we've seen it, hit the bottom down here where it's done falling below the 200 period EMA, we try to pick up some manual trades on the way up back to the 200 period EMA. But at this time, it's looking like the drop is going to be happening for a while, and So unfortunately, today will just be a tradeless day, but that's okay. We'll be here Monday to see how the markets fare us and our manual and automated trades take place. So right before we go, corporate Corporate Air America Airports reports a 36% rise in passenger traffic in February. I know I was curious to see how much air traffic went up as I've been looking at plane tickets just because that's fun always. And I'm seeing that the price of flights are going up. So even with the prices going up, we're still seeing a 36% rise in passenger traffic for the month of February, which is awesome. Okay, so everybody have a great weekend. Make sure that you read and understand all associated risks on our website at theopeningtrade.com and in this video description. I'm Ayla, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll be here to trade with you on Monday.